knew how to beat these guys psychologically before I even got in the ring with them.
You're not nervous. You're energized.
You got to go out there and take the belt. It's not yours, and you got to go earn it. It really just was about running the best race I could.
I'm gonna ridicule you until you get on the same level with me. And if you don't get on the same level, then it's gonna be hell for you.
I want to just let them know that they've been hit, and when they get up, they don't have to look to see who was that hit them.
Today we'll be discussing our method of teaching intimidation to athletes with Forrest Griffin, who is a UFC Hall of Famer and one of the top intimidators of all time. In teaching intimidation to our athletes, we first review what intimidation is with the athlete. We then show athletes brief video clips of the world's greatest intimidators demonstrating intimidation. After they watch the intimidation in action, we have them show us how they can adopt these intimidation strategies into their own style. In the interview coming up, Eilish will gain perspective from Forrest Griffin about this approach after watching Dr. Donahue demonstrating this method with an elite junior Olympic athlete.
We're here with UFC Hall of Famer Forrest Griffin. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming down. And today we're talking with our viewers about intimidation and that aspect of tops. And so I'd like to start off by just asking you a little bit about what you think intimidation means.
Sure. So what I think intimidation means, first off, the thing I want to point out and the thing that'll kind of be my recurring theme for this conversation is that intimidation can take many different forms, right? So what I would call my level of intimidation would seem very unlikely or unusual, right? So, intimidation would be anything to offset your opponents, to push their mindset into a more negative space, which is not something I ever intentionally tried to do. My goal was to clean your own house and don't worry about theirs. So I came in the best possible mindset I could be in. And over time, coming in like that, the fact that I was excited to be there, that I wanted to fight, became intimidating. You know, I'm smiling, I'm happy. This is what I get to do. I love to do this. And that in itself is a little, what's that guy? What's he know that I don't know? Why is he so excited to be here?
Right.
Genuine excitement. So I just made sure that I was in the right place. And I feel like when somebody can tell that you're in the right mindset to perform, that pushes them off their game a little bit. I would say, this guy's amazing, he's awesome, I truly respect him. Nothing, what they call bulletin board material, nothing. Nicest guy in the world. Now Wednesday, we're gonna do the press conference. Wednesday, it's too late for them to be motivated, to change, to strategically do anything, right? So they've done the work. And then I was the nicest guy. Now Wednesday, I let you know that I'm gonna beat you up on Saturday. It's not personal, I'm just gonna beat you up. It's
part of it.
That's the pot of money. I'm going to take it.
Right.
Best of luck to you, but I'm going to.
Right.
And my strategy was, I don't want to motivate anybody to train harder, to do it. But then week of, the money's in the bank, the work is done. There's nothing they can do to change the outcome of the fight.
Yeah, so that calm disposition, we talked a little bit about that with our junior athletes. And I thought what would be fun today is to look at a video that is Dr. Donahue going through the tops technique where we teach that intimidation skill, or where we go over that. And what we do is we show them videos of great athletes with their intimidation. And for this athlete particularly, we did show her videos of you and throughout your career, and you might recognize some of the clips. But in one of them, you're reading a book side, by the ring, and so this particular athlete went on to win gold at Worlds just last week.
Awesome,
so. I'd love if you took a look at the clip and we can have a little bit more of a conversation afterwards.
Sounds great.
Big night for you here tonight. You ready?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I come all the way from the States here just to do this fight, so I'm ready, I'm excited. It's about time.
What style is it?
Valet Tudo, or no holds barred, sort of all-encompassing style.
Any honors here at stake tonight?
My honor? Yeah, I guess it being pride and honor competition, and there's a lot more at stake than my honor, though. My arts is sort of at stake as well, so.
Have you acclimatized enough?
I guess we're going to find that out shortly, huh? I mean, it's a mile up here. I'm going to think so. We'll find out.
You're relaxing, reading a book. Is this how you always relax before a fight?
Yeah, I mean, you don't really want to get nervous or anything. It'll happen when you get out there. There's no point in trying to rush it. Just relax, take it easy, read a book, whatever.
So just from that interaction alone, what kind of intimidation strategies were you gathering?
Well, he was using a lot of words like "I'm excited," "I'm not nervous." And
Yes,
I think those really help
definitely.
get you pumped up before going to compete.
That's right. And so I think you bring up a good point that it's kind of like your own self-talk can actually be very intimidating for yourself because you're building your confidence with the things that you're saying, and then people are seeing that confidence, like we just obviously, just saw him. And if you remember, I think the last time I showed you a video where he's literally reading a book, and that was pretty interesting. And I know that one really got to you as well. Like, what were some of the things that you liked about how he was just reading a book in front of all the people to see, just before his major match?
Well, I think you can see how much he's mastered his intimidation because
Right.
he's not threatened enough to warm up.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as he's relaxing and he's not nervous, I think it shows how much he's ready and how
Yeah.
he traveled all this way to do what he's got to do.
Definitely. And how were you able to utilize some of those skill sets when you were just in your fights?
I think just keeping those mental conversations going on in my head, saying I can do this, I'm gonna go out and have fun,
Uh-huh.
and just staying relaxed up until I go out and fight, and then that's when I turn it up.
And last time you also talked about like really just bringing in some real aggressive kind of words too, that you said that got to you. You didn't like to do those, outwardly, but you like to have those things going on in your head. And I wondered, would you mind sharing any of those ones that you like to do?
I think I just like talking about how I'm the fastest in my division. I mean, I've had so much good tournaments in this past year, and I know my competitors they're out for me, but I'm not gonna let that affect me. I just gotta
Super.
have my head up high and stay strong.
Very good. And how did you show your strength to some of the competitors when you were out there? What were some of the strategies that you were able to, to demonstrate, to show that you had that confidence and that, you were something to be reckoned with?
I think just coming out on the mat and having my head held high.
Mm-hmm.
I think you gotta show that you're the stronger opponent when you walk out.
Yeah.
And that's when your opponent, when they see you, that's when they start to get nervous, and you just gotta show them that you're there to win.
Definitely. And did you have any situations where someone tried to intimidate you or tried to play any games with you when you were out there?
Well, before my matches, when I would see my opponent, we would hold eye contact,
Uh-huh.
and I can tell that they would look at me, but I didn't really let that affect me because I know that I'm ready for this tournament. I prepared, I trained hard,
Uh-huh.
and so.
And one of the things that you did with Mike Tyson with that video is that he talked about eye contact as well. Did you find yourself not looking down like Mike Tyson was saying to try to do as well?
All the time.
I mean, I really liked kind of, I feel like she has a similar approach. And then, again, I don't know how old she is, but she's not intimidating anybody
Not
with
at
her
all.
look.
Yeah.
She's little, she's, very, prim and proper. But again, like she was saying, that confidence that like, hey, I'm here to win, that is where you're like, okay, this girl doesn't look like much, but why she seems so happy to be here? So, you never
She
want
said something
anybody.
that kind of resonated a little bit with what you said earlier, where she said like when she gets to that place, and she says, "I'm going to turn it up," and that kind
Yeah.
of sounds like what you were saying maybe
Yeah.
before your fights.
Exactly. I mean, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You're gonna, well, okay, ooh, it just hit me. So you push it off till you need it.
Yeah.
Otherwise it's wasted energy.
And I'm curious to see what you think about if you consider that, we'll say if intimidation is a skill, do you think that's something that young Olympic hopefuls like Presley are able to practice and prepare and improve?
Absolutely. And I was thinking, and I'm glad you brought that up, I was thinking her look, what she has, it's what's in your toolkit. Now we mentioned Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson got the big traps, the angry,
Right, yeah.
So he should lean into that. She doesn't have that, right? So if she goes out there and kind of tries to look mad, is it going to look maybe out of place? But you have to kind of figure out who you are and what your intimidation is going to be.
Right.
Some people just naturally look like serial killers. Go with it.
Yeah.
Some people have the big traps and the angry face, and that's how they get themselves fired up. There's styles of intimidation.
Definitely.
The number one thing is to get yourself comfortable, to know that you've done the work, to know that you've done everything in your power to win this fight, and that you've been here before, you've been in bad situations in training, and that you won't quit on yourself.
Right.
And then you kind of bring that into your competition with you.
I love
And
that,
then
yeah.
what the other person brings is kind of, you know, what they bring, but you know, and you don't have to try to intimidate them. If you want to try to intimidate them, then go for it.
Yeah.
If that's your natural mode, if that's something you've done. But
Yeah,
I
like
would
that's what we
say,
heard Presley say about like the eye contact, you know.
Yeah.
And she's like, always, you know. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, but you've got to kind of, you know, you've got to identify your assets and work to them as far as intimidation. It's energy,
Yeah.
again, pre-competition. It's energy, it's how you choose to interpret it, you know. Eustress and distress aren't that different.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, it's the same chemicals being metabolized in your body. It's just how you make the choice to say, I'm, what did she say? Energized?
Energized, yeah.
Yeah, versus I'm nervous.
Right.
You're not nervous. You're energized. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're about to, okay, you
Yeah.
feel, ooh, got the feels. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
I wonder, is there any points around intimidation or anything that you'd like to add, or maybe because we probably have, you know, some hopefuls like Presley.
I'll give you
I'll give you
a shortened version of the speech I give before when athletes are sparring. So you're familiar, you're practicing fighting that hard. Do what you're going to do in the fight. Don't, like, if you hit me, I'm not going to go, okay, I'm not going to acknowledge that.
Okay.
Or I'm not going to show that you hurt me, or that like, or give you any positive feedback.
Okay.
You know, I want to be a black hole. You punch into me, I don't show anything. I get hurt, I don't show anything. And a lot of times guys say, oh, yeah, you didn't, but it's feedback that you don't want to give your opponent. And you want to mentally change the look on your face and start practicing keeping like, you know, kind of a blank face, a poker face. You know, you want to spar the way you're going to fight, not in just the techniques, but in the way you carry yourself, your mindset. When you walk in the cage to spar somebody, walk confident. Walk like you're excited to be there. Again, force yourself into enjoying this thing for the 6 weeks before you do it. And then when you actually get there, it's going to seem like routine. Again, routine makes the extraordinary ordinary. You go through the same routine, you get to the same place, you get there, you're going to become intimidating because you've practiced those skills in your training, in your sparring session.
Yeah.
To learn more about TOPS, please visit www.topscience.com, where you can watch videos demonstrating other strategies and techniques in TOPS and obtain other resources at no cost, including a TOPS training hotline.